All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're tackling a massive question. What even is reality? We're going to pull back the curtain and see how the world you experience isn't just out there. It's actually a complex, incredible construction happening inside your own mind.
And I want you to really just sit with this for a moment. What if everything you see, everything you hear, everything you feel, the solid feeling of the ground, the colors in the room, what if that's not the actual, objective world? And look, I'm not talking about some sci-fi movie with pods and wires. I'm talking about a biological and psychological matrix. One that's being built and rebuilt every single moment by the same brain you're using to listen to me right now.
This right here, this is the key. This single idea unlocks everything we're about to get into. It flips the whole script from a world that's just out there, fixed and solid, to an experience that is deeply internal and personal. And this isn't just philosophy. Modern science is showing us just how true it is.
So, how in the world does this happen? Well, let's start with the hardware, your brain. We tend to think of our brains as being like a camera, just passively recording whatever's in front of us. But the truth is, it's so much more incredible than that. Your brain is an active creator.
Neuroscientists actually have this wild term for it, a controlled hallucination. What you perceive as reality is really just your brain's best guess about what's causing all the signals coming from your senses. It takes little bits of data, mashes them up with your memories and expectations, and then presents you with a smooth, seamless story. You're not actually seeing the world, you're seeing your brain's model of the world. And to build this model, your brain takes some pretty big shortcuts. For one, it's constantly filling in the gaps, right? Like the blind spot in your vision you literally never notice. It also has to filter out this insane flood of data coming at you every second, otherwise you'd be totally overwhelmed. And here's the most important part. Its number one job isn't to show you the absolute truth. Its job is to keep you alive. So it prioritizes whatever it thinks is important for survival. So that old idea of your eyes being windows to the world, it's fundamentally wrong. A window gives you a clear, totally unfiltered view of what's on the other side. A much, much better way to think about it is a lens. A lens doesn't just let light in. It actively bends it, focuses it, magnifies it, and can even distort it. Your perception works exactly the same way. It's shaped and filtered long before it ever hits your conscious mind. Okay, so if it's a lens, what's the software running on it? Well, psychology has names for this stuff. Cognitive biases, those are the built-in mental shortcuts, like confirmation bias, that make you look for proof of what you already think is true. Conditioning, that comes from all your past experiences, everything that taught you this is safe or that is dangerous. And then you have mental schemas, which are kind of like the blueprints you built in your head for how things are supposed to work, and they shape everything you expect and how you interpret what happens next. Okay, let's go a layer deeper. We've talked about the brain's hardware. Now let's talk about the mind's software. If the brain is the engine, our beliefs and our stories, well, they're the GPS telling that engine where to go and what to create. And this is where the matrix gets really, really personal. Because the most fundamental filter, the very core of the lens you're looking through, is your sense of self. It's your identity. Who you believe you are completely dictates what you think is possible and how you make sense of every single thing that happens to you. Think about it. From when we're little kids, we absorb these powerful stories from our family, from our culture, from everything around us. And they aren't just little ideas. They become the invisible rulebook for our personal reality. They set the boundaries of our world, and we don't even know what's happening. This quote just nails it perfectly, doesn't it? We are all swimming in an ocean of our own assumptions and beliefs. They're so constant, so everywhere, that we don't see them as beliefs at all. We just think, well, that's just how things are. We mistake them for reality itself. And here's the thing, this is why all of this really matters. When we feel stuck or anxious or limited, a lot of the time it's not the actual objective situation causing the pain. It's the unquestioned story we're telling ourselves about the situation. That fear of failure isn't about the task. It's about the story of I'm not good enough that gets triggered. And that story, that can feel like a prison.
Now, I know this might all sound a bit heavy, but here's where it all flips and becomes incredibly empowering. Because once you realize you're living inside a reality that's constructed, you can stop being its prisoner, and you can start becoming its architect. The huge shift is to reframe this whole idea. The Matrix isn't some evil trap you have to escape. It's more like a functional operating system. It's a tool that helps you make sense of a world that is just infinitely complex. The problem isn't the system itself. The problem is when we forget that we're the user and we have administrator rights.
So, what happens when you start to cultivate this awareness? Well, a few amazing things start to click into place. First, you get less emotionally reactive. You start seeing your anxious thoughts as just suggestions, not commands you have to follow. Second, you start breaking free from limiting beliefs. The idea that you can't do something starts to look like old programming, not an unchangeable fact. Third, you find yourself with a lot more compassion, because you realize that other people are just trapped in their own matrix, their own web of beliefs. And finally, all of this leads to a more intentional, conscious way of living, where you're actively choosing how to engage with life, instead of just being bounced around by it. So, how do we actually do this? Here are 4 really practical, powerful tools. Mindfulness is the foundation. Just watching your thoughts creates a little bit of space between you and your automatic reactions. Then there's self-inquiry, where you actively question your own assumptions. Ask yourself, is this belief really 100% true? Where did I even learn this? That starts to shake up old narratives. Emotional regulation, things like deep breathing, helps calm down your nervous system's fight-or-flight response, so your thinking brain can come back online. And finally, perspective shifting is about consciously trying on different viewpoints. Ask yourself, how would someone I admire see this? It breaks you out of that rigid, single point of view. This is really the ultimate point. The goal isn't to shatter the whole illusion and just float away into nothingness. The goal is to become fully awake, fully conscious, right here in the life you're already living, but with a whole new level of freedom and choice. So just remember this. The world you experience isn't some static photograph you're stuck looking at. It's more like an interactive movie, and you are co-directing it every single moment. It's all filtered through you. And that really leaves us with the most powerful question of all. Understanding the lens, the filter, this whole matrix. It isn't just a cool thought experiment. It's an invitation. It's an invitation to take responsibility for your own perception and to consciously and intentionally choose the reality you want to inhabit. So, what will you choose?